In Mossad, what did you do?
Liaison?
And what did you do in liaison?
Translator.
Translator. So first time in the field.
Good. That's good.
Welcome to the mission. Initially, you kind of look at his backstory. His family's been slaughtered, and he is a, there's not a naive quality to him, but it's a, he is a man that believes that by solving this, mission, doing this mission, he will be able to put rest the kind of screams, or he obviously hears about his dead family. But by being like that, it kind of sets him on a path where he block walls out to everybody, and the mission is the only thing he can accomplish. Of course, emotionally, therefore, you're kind of reserved. Once the mission goes wrong, it's like the old, the fingers in the dike with the kid trying to stop all the water. All the emotion starts coming out of him. And with my idea, I said to Kieran, I'm trying to hold it together, but it's going. So by the time you get to Kieran's character, all the water's run out. It's like water's running through your fingers. He's a ghost in the shell of a man. So that's how we kind of pinpoint the arc of the movie.
John Madden is really wonderful to work with because he created an environment for real things to happen, and I was so sick of being on that stupid set, and that I mean everything that was happening in me, I'm sure was happening in Rachel, and he created that. I felt like this poor woman, she's just as much of a prisoner as Vogel is, and it is true, like, she's keeping everything contained until she just has to get out. And these people that she thinks are her allies, that she has different love affairs with, are now also her prisoners, David and Stefan, and I found that really interesting.
It's about choices you make, isn't it? Without wanting to give anything away in the movie. It's kind of movie that's important to protect the narrative, because it's pleasurable, I think, to discover what's happening in the movie as you go along. That's the way I would want it to be. And it's a tough movie to talk about without doing that. But you correctly divine, my own engagement with it has to do with the fact that it has a very, very powerful human story at the center of it, with an extraordinarily kind of elevated themes, meaning that you're dealing with the aftermath of this monstrous crime against humanity that was the Holocaust.
We got the luxury of shooting in order, which you don't normally do on films, and that house started as happy families. The three of us coming in, excited to do a film, excited to go on this mission, and then by the time 5 weeks in, with the Nazi war criminal in there and the plan going sour, you want it out. Now, your life and how you're feeling on that set, and you don't want to be there anymore, parallels exactly with the character. So John actually kind of scheduled it to make our life a lot easier.
It's out! Keep it hacking! It's out!
Well, movement's very important to me, and I love the clothes of the 60s, and if I had my way, I'd love to be wearing like bright, fun colors. But I knew that, she's undercover. So Rachel Singer doesn't want anyone to notice her, really. So she's wearing a lot of grays, she's gonna be the woman that's kind of in the corner, the one who doesn't, she doesn't want to draw a lot of attention to herself, because then people might wonder who she is, where she came from. So I tried to disappear in that, movement-wise, of the character.
I wanted him to be svelte. I wanted it to be kind of, they're not Jason Bourne, they're not James Bond, they weren't. They were, naive, kind of young, idealistic kind of agents. That's what the Mossad started out as. just fighting a good cause, and they didn't really know what they were getting into and how emotionally it would screw up the rest of their lives. Especially, you can see the thing they make, the decision they make in this movie ripples throughout the rest of their life.
You know, the film is about just simple human choices that are made at a given moment about how to behave in very, very, very pressurized circumstances, which I think makes it instantly accessible to anybody watching it, however elevated the themes may be. You know, you wouldn't necessarily rush to see a film about the Holocaust if you were not intimately connected with it or had lost somebody, God forbid, in it, because it seems like such a forbidding subject. And it isn't about the Holocaust, but there's an invitation in the film, aside from its genre appeal, because it's hopefully a good thriller.
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing.
What's the matter?
He can understand us.
What?
He just spoke to me. He knows what we're saying. He knows what we're thinking.
It's all right. It's all right. This will be over soon.
Why didn't you go? At the station, you could have got away. Why didn't you?